have kids, get married, and we still manage to do all of that in spite of everything that we as a people have gone through. That should tell you the level of magic that we are.
Wow. This is a speech and a half. When are we to what you just said? You've given all of us hope. You've given most of us offload the burden of this has to be fixed very quickly. Because if we don't, we're going to lose it all. And we're going to turn what was once a beautiful country into all of it looks like Marawastat.
Exactly.
Where it's just anybody's do whatever they want.
King David Studio Podcast.
Which is why people are angry, because everyone is accountable for something.
Yeah.
What makes us angry is not like, oh yeah, we can't believe the ANC government let the country go to
disarray.
To disarray.
Yes.
No. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's because these are people who were given bricks and they just refuse to lay them.
Yes. That's where the anger comes from.
We're not expecting them to get everything right. But the bit that you're supposed to do,
just do that.
Get it right. Do it.
Yeah.
Don't sit there. No one is going to do it. You have to do it. And when you occupy that space and not do what you're supposed to do, you set us back. Let me tell you something. You can't put a roof there.
No, you can't.
We need doors. We need cabling. We need
you
water.
name it.
You name it.
And there's a supplier.
There's a supplier
for every one of those tools. Yeah. If the guy who was meant to bring sand did not pitch, we can't build.
We can't build that day. There's no production that day. Let's all go home.
Do you know, yesterday's, and I say yesterday because I don't know when this will be broadcast. It is when the former mayor of Johannesburg, she hasn't been on her desk now for 24 hours when we're recording this. And a comment I made on radio, and I got somebody who criticized me. I said, it's so sad we always have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Every time. Because of the type of politics that we have. Because South Africa, we have a lens, a political lens through everything that happens around us, even soccer, sports. There'll always be a political lens. Your industry, which is television, there's a political lens. And you can't help say it's a mayor, it's a black woman in leadership. Not the party that you necessarily agree with.
Yeah.
However, there's someone who's trying to do something in that space, and now they're no longer in power. My comment is, hey, Rotomahab. Because Rotomahab.
True.
When somebody walks in, immediately you're like, what was she doing? Nah. Let's start this thing again.
You know why Rotomahab?
Yeah.
Because we do not have the blueprint of the plan. There's a plan.
Yes.
There's a floor plan of everything that you're going to do. Even when you're doing a show, we know the speakers are going to be here, the stage is going to be here, the podium thing.
At this time.
And then there's someone who actually calls the show.
Yes.
Okay? For the show to run smoothly. When something, it is properly well-oiled or the foundation is right, it doesn't matter who comes in after. They literally look at the plan and say, oh, so I'm going to take from here and carry on up to here. Understand?
You don't have to start again.
No, you don't start again. But now, someone is going to come and go like, let's break this down. Someone will the big ones or bring the small ones. I want the black face brick.
Yes.
No, I can place stela. And that's what always sets us back. So sometimes it is not necessarily about who is in power.
No.
It is not. Ne? But it's about, is the flow or the blueprint of what we are trying to achieve, is it still solid?
Yeah.
Are we still on the right path?
Let me ask this question.
Yeah.
Do we even have a blueprint?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
But we don't have a blueprint.
Then
that is why everyone starts anyway. There's
yes.
nothing to work with.
Oof.
There's nothing to work with. And that becomes the most frustrating. And also, our leader, they also need to learn when to let go. If when you turn 60 already, your company is starting to tell you, babes, you do know You can actually take early retirement and all of that.
Go rest.
I don't see why we have politicians over the age of 55.
Geez, we have politicians over 70 in this country.
74, 75.
Yes.
And can I tell you the funniest thing is that
aspiring president at 73.
and at that point, the person is not even audible because, when you get old, the gums get soft. You must still have all your teeth.
Yes.
But you start speaking like this because, you are getting a bit old now. And you're like thinking, our liberation, it is, no, babes. We have younger people who have more power, who have more strength, who have new energy, renewed energy, and who are easily adaptable to change. In fact, that's what I wanted to say. Come up here, like when in music, you need to be able to
change with
time. Change with the time.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing as constant as change.
No, yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
True.
Just because you're not Ukhrot man, you only listen to Mang Mang. So even in politics,
we find the same.
You find the same. Allow young people to bring out young ideas or understand.
Yeah.
Allow young people to explore and tell us what it is that they want. And not only tell us, also show us. Yeah, the suicide rate in the country is so high, it's getting high. Young people are killing themselves. You know why? Because you old people are sitting on the seats they're supposed to be sitting on. You're stifling their growth because you don't want to move on from your sub B. Can you imagine? No, I don't want to go to university. I want to repeat standard 10 again. No, get out of that room, move on.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Sure.
We must learn to move on. We must learn to delegate. We must learn to give over the power and hand over the reins and give you don't run the relay by yourself.
No, it's not possible.
And I never only one.
Yeah.
So allow the young people to come in. Suicide rate will go up. Unemployment rate, it goes up. You know why unemployment rate goes up?
Yeah.
Because old people are holding on to the positions, not because there are no opportunities for young people to work.
There's someone who's there who shouldn't be there.
Udujimo, why are you sitting on a chair that someone else should be occupying right now? Go, man, go enjoy your retirement somewhere. Let watch your grandchildren grow or something.
Jeez.
So the unemployment rate, people say, oh yeah, the education level is low. Yes, it is. You know why? Because we also haven't adapted to the kind of education
that's required.
That is required right now. Yeah. In Mayemo to pass geographically beepsed.
Then that changed.
Now,
changed.
Who wants that?
And then Mayemo to pass matric became Mayemo.
Yeah, like just pass, and then also find the passion. Now, not everyone. Back in the day, you're either a nurse, a teacher, a doctor, and what else?
A policeman.
A policeman.
Yes.
Now, people who run the world, they're not even looking at half of those.
No, not at all.
Because the dream is different. The aspirations have changed.
We haven't adapted our education, which is ultimately given to the young people who are coming in to lead.
And you know why they're
the reality?
Because they haven't even lived that. They don't even know what you're talking about.
Not at all.
They don't know what you're talking about.
Because what they learn doesn't reflect in the reality of their lives.
And is not only that, but it's not even going to contribute towards where they're going.
Jeez.
So what do we end up with? We end up with despondent young people.
Yeah.
Who are resentful.
Jeez.
Who are rebellious, who are ungovernable, and who are not accountable.
Of course.
Who are not responsible. And since they don't find a place for themselves in the world, what do? They go out. And Ramakala. Oh, can you believe it? Yo, no, it's not what the kids are doing. It's also our responsibilities as adults to do that. Now, I can't be upset for Tuso is a superstar.
No.
When I was Tuso's age, I didn't have those kind of opportunities.
Not at all.
She must take all of them.
Because here they are now.
Them.
Yeah.
She must take all of them.
And they are right here and they are happening.
Within her grasp, she must take all of them. And we'll clap for her. We'll encourage her. We'll motivate her. More than anything, we'll even pray for her.
Jeez.
So that she goes as far as she can.
I want to change tune just a little bit. There's a cast. If this cast made a movie today, I want you to tell me how that movie would turn out. Tony Koroge, Rapulani Siphen, Mushidi,
Ah.
Owen Sejake, Harold Speedy, George Lamola, and of course yourself, Nimrod Nkosi, Shane Maja, Tumiso Masha.
Hi, Jake.
If this cast was to make a movie today, this very cast, because then they were young kids when they made this movie in 99, 2000.
You know what I love? What I loved, or what I still love about that cast is that each and every person on that list just...
Yeah. They blew up.
A talented bunch of people. You should listen to Rapulana speak. Then you have a conversation with Tony. And then Kenneth in his stuttering and his comedic way. And you go like, but wait a minute.
These guys.
And then you speak to Mushidi, the passion that she has. And you speak, oh my gosh. Like, Bra Owen, I did How to Ring Christmas with him the second season. Like, we were literally, I remember Retabile le Katlego, the Ramapakelas, the Bent Onion execs.
Yeah.
They were literally sitting there like, look. And I remember Riti saying to me, guys, I can't believe Bra Owen is here.
He sat on that chair, by the way.
Yeah, and all of us were shocked. Yeah. And I remember Busi Logai,
who passed on.
She was sitting there, guys. When I started watching TV, Bra Owen was there. And now I'm in the same scene with him. Like, we were blown away completely. Like, we'll just be looking at him in awe.
Yeah.
Hore, how can someone manage to just do such amazing things in such difficult circumstances? Because we all know how it's
still
been.
Pull it off. You know, he tells stories of how they used to act on stage, stories that were not supposed to be told. They were supposed to be seen by cops.
Yes.
And they would be investigated and they would come and arrest them but yet they carried on. And because they had an important message, their goal was different. Their goal was to deliver a message of conscientizing Africans, South Africans, of what's happening.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know?
That's why I speak of this.
That list.
I look at this cast and say, whoa.
Wow, what a cool list you have there.
Look at that. It's an amazing
Look at these people. I mean, really. Hey, Robert Whitehead. Hey? That man, people forgot his name. All they knew was Baka Haynes.
Of course.
Hey.
They are all on that list. And that was 20 years or 22 years ago.
Hey? Speed Katawele.
An unlikely story.
Yeah.
An incredible story. And one that spoke of a South African of that time. And I look at how we've evolved so much in our production of television shows and so forth. We've gotten really, really good with time. And I'm not saying there was anything wrong with that. It was a beautifully told story. And I say to you, when you look at the industry and its future, what do you see? Because Akin and Tony just released a new movie now.
The Brave Ones, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the production quality is so different and so advanced.
Yeah.
And that's why I ask you, when you look at what we do now, what do you say?
I see great potential. I see great opportunities. I see the world. The world is just paying attention.
Yeah.
Completely. Because now we've got the ability and the power and the accessibility to now tell us stories. So you're not just telling about something that you heard. But you're telling of something that you have literally experienced and you have lived.
Yeah.
I understand. I can't go live in New York for 2 years and think I can tell in New York how New York is.
Never.
You know? It doesn't matter how much research I do. It doesn't matter how much of it I think I know. But being able to be in a space where now, I mean, look at this list. Half of these people that now have their own production companies, they're directors, they're producers, they're writers. We still act as well. I mean, I was with Makaola the other day, and I was like, look at me, yo, Makaola Ohojo. Makaola Ohojo. It's like, wait, nah. And I'm like, nah. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then you look at this person, you're like, I worked with you 22 years ago.
Jeez.
22 years is a long time. This whole list, people still, I mean, Pura, I spoke to him just the other day, Shane. Everyone's still like that. Look at the things that Tumisho is doing.
Whoa.
Everyone here
is working.
And that's also the power of what I was telling you about Kwaito falling on fertile ground. This is the list that fell
on fertile ground. I was in 1999. When you were cast for this.
Yes. Now, 1999, that's when the ground was extra fertile.
Yeah.
And the world was hungry to see this.
For a South African story.
Exactly. And we were allowed that opportunity. And because it was fertile ground, like not even one person here, I can tell you where everyone is. All of them. All of them. Even Jub man. Come on. You know? All of them.
Wow.
But we had the opportunity to fall on fertile ground, which is why I'm saying right now, we have no right to stifle the youth. Whether I'm a piano, and now the young people are they're so excited, they're so talented. They don't need those big cameras on tripods. And
No.
They shoot everything off their phones. You know,
you do an entire movie.
You do an entire movie with your iPhone.
With your iPhone.
Remember, there's this very talented young man who follows people around with I forgot his name, but around the townships. He tells amazing movies, amazing short films. He's talented.
Jeez.
He doesn't need a crew of 40 people to make the dream come true.
No. Look at us today.
Yeah.
It's just the two of us.
So now we don't want to be like, back in the day, you know, I needed a trailer.
Hey.
No.
Catering.
No, catering. And people have to come and now they still have to set up cameras. No.
Quiet on set.
Quiet. No.
Action.
No. Right now, whenever we've got multicam. Back in the day, you know, now you can even do single temp. People are like using roving cameras. People are
I could have interviewed you with a camera on my chest.
On your chest. And it's doable.
Yes.
They now go underwater. We don't have to be covering the camera with plastics.
The world is so different.
So with the world being this different, if us.
Yeah.
And I say, I know, and I'm saying this because I know our generation, they do that.
They think they are.
We are such gatekeepers. We are such gatekeepers. And this whole thing of saying, our lessons were different. So I can now... We waited. We were patient. No, that's how it used to be.
For you.
Now talking about the story, Sapabi.
Yeah.
Sapabi Cooper, 3 weeks she was out there. And now her responsibility is to make sure that she stays there. So now it was a build-up. And yes, then we managed to stay there. Not everybody managed to stay there. There are a lot of people that fell.
Of course.
By the wayside.
As it would happen.
And people just like, you know what, stuff this. I'm not doing this anymore. Let me go pursue something else and work. Maybe this is not for me. But now, just because my experience was different, it was harder than the next person. I have no right to try and make it harder for them and say like, you guys are lucky. Yes, the world is smaller. I'm glad that we get to send self-tapes to the US, to Europe.
Then you couldn't.
Then you couldn't.
They would bring people here. Or they bring people here.
Exactly. Now there's no need for all of
Look at how you were auditioned for Backstage. They had to bring someone from Cape Town.
Yes, they flew.
To come and see you.
Yes. Yes.
Just send us a tape.
Now, you know, sometimes, now we even do Zoom.
Yes.
They call you. So now, why are we not embracing those channels that make it easier? That make it more accessible, that make it more it's quick.
And it can be.
And it can be. And then you can still invest the quality of the quality of the work that you will put in. Is not to be determined by a self-tape that was sent.
Not at all.
A Zoom meeting or that was played. And now, even now when we do voiceovers in studio, client doesn't come in studio anymore.
No. You put them on
in.
You put them on a Zoom
listen,
call.
And then they're listening while they're drinking coffee and typing other things like, we like that. Good. Okay, please do it again. That's where the world is going. And when you embrace that, now can you imagine how powerful it would be if you have the experience that Rami Chuene has?
Yes.
Ne? And the sustainability and the consistency, and then get the tools that actually accelerate. That is what I'm saying to you. You said, where do you see big movies?
It has to.
Big movies.
Yeah.
big, huge, in Julia Roberts' words. And just when you think Kefe DJ, you realize that, oh my God, she's actually just begun in inverted commas, because now it's a bigger stage.
It's even a different audience.
Listen, there are people who cracked the industry at 50, at 55. I mean, look at Cicely Tyson. Come on. There's so many examples. People like Maya Angelou, like she didn't. People like Oprah.
I like how you use the phrase "cracking it," like you are about to.
Yeah, you know,
a new era.
Exactly, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
it's always a new era, and it's not. I don't know why people are so reluctant with this new era, because the 90s were a new era altogether. The 2000s were a new era altogether.
To the people of the 80s, and the 90s look like
post-pandemic. Yeah, post-pandemic.
Was a new era.
Come on.
It's a new era.
Come on. You know?
If we don't embrace it, we are the ones who are wrong.
We are the ones who are wrong.
Wow.
And allow young people to explore. Allow young people to do what they need to do.
You gathered around young people.
Yeah.
A lot.
I've got amazing young kids in my life. They are
That's why
so talented.
I can tell with your energy that you even your social media is so busy that you can tell that you're busy, man.
You're so jealous that I was with Chance the rapper.
Oh, listen to that.
Yeah.
Because you had to go to a global citizen
yeah.
recently. Yeah.
So did you actually have a conversation with Ash? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh my God, we can't believe it.
How do you get that privilege? As you're a representative of the brand. What is?
Funny thing is that there are a couple of projects that I'm on the side working on.
Okay.
And they just happen to be some of the people who are actually aligned.
Oh, to global citizen.
They were like, let's go. I was like, absolutely. I don't see why not.
Because I saw it was a private jet travel. It's like, hey.
Darling. I mean, I don't even know why you're talking to me. You shouldn't be talking to me right now. Hey?
You should have someone talking to me, so they rely on me.
Yeah, they're like, he is saying this and this and that.
I say that to people. The day I win 100 million, the first person I hire, someone to talk to.
Yeah.
Can't talk to me.
That's why you're not gonna win it.
Evarita, wow, man. So this global citizen is quite an involvement.
And it was not even my main focal point, but it looks like it would be, based on the background work that I'm doing, and what a great opportunity it was to actually just be able to sit with those people, hear their thoughts. I mean, I know Asha was a big deal, but he was actually not the only big deal there. And there were other superstars,
of course,
there, but I'm not even talking about superstars. And it was so weird sitting here eating, and then the president of Ghana is also sitting there.
Having a meal.
Like,
jeez, man.
Is he gonna eat?
What work is this that you do that puts you in a table with the president of Ghana?
Yeah, but you see, it is that is why David Kerry, do not be a gatekeeper of anything.
Don't be the one.
Don't be the one. Hey, and then you just be telling people, I went to this party. It was amazing. I was actually the only black there. That's my emo daddy.
Next.
That is being completely stupid.
Yeah.
So I always open myself to a lot of opportunities. Also, I'm a creative. I do a lot of creative writing. I do a lot of ideas. When someone says, I want to do this, how do you think we should do it? So I actually I do a lot of concepts.
Okay.
I do conceptualization. That's why serious.
You just told them.
Yeah,
how many words per minute?
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm an out-of-the-box thinker. And I mean, you saw that story with Jesus.
Yeah.
So
man.
I do a lot of that.
Yes.
It's out of the box kind of thinking. So I come in when the team says, this is what we have done with this. And I'm like, okay, fine. Have you actually thought about it from this angle? And it turns out to be a fun angle, with a lot of humor, simplified, something that people resonate with.
Yes.
And I've been blessed to be that kind of a person. And I never take it for granted. That person that if I walk into Pep, people don't get shocked. And should I get the grace to walk into Louis Vuitton, they won't be shocked either.
Equally.
You know?
Yeah.
So somebody was saying, hey, when Mr. Price, but then do you see my Gucci sunglasses?
Hey, don't miss this.
You know,
Yes.
but I mean, I don't say, but I'm saying, you know, it's easy for me to take that with that.
Yeah.
I don't go like, oh, I worship these sunglasses.
No, yeah.
I worship this handbag. No. I'll still wear my batu, wear my Tula Cindy, then wear my Pep vest, wear my Ackermans jersey. I do that. And I think that's what people want to see. How accessible are you? How authentic? And you're not doing it for the people. I'm just living my life.
Yeah.
And then somebody will be like, you know what? I like what you do. I like how you carry this. I like how to. I'm just like, oh, okay. I never have to think about it twice. I don't feel like I have to be this person and be this kind of persona when I'm with a different kind of
bunch
people.
Of people, yeah.
I mean, I'm just me. They know me. I'm loud, and then
you are
interesting.
Our look at this. This is opening line immediately after. What does that statement say there?
Cheerful attitude and passion for life.
It's a common phrase that comes across when people write about you.
Yeah,
it's a common phrase. They say, you almost never see her in a bad mood.
No, you can. You know, I actually get it from my parents, my mother especially. My mother is so cheerful. Like, guys, my mother is always happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, if you get my mother angry, just know her, and we know you. When my mother is angry, we know you are the problem.
Yeah, I see it.
It's not her. And in the same breath, in that anger, she'll still turn around and hug you and still encourage you. And it's that. And I think that's one of the things that I've always aspired to be.
Yeah.
Or, you know, to be that kind of a sounding board. It's not like I didn't consciously decide to be that. It kind of happened automatically. And I took it with grace. So I get it when people want to discuss what do you think of this? Yeah, I mean, I'm struggling with this and this and this. And I don't come there with judgment. Yo, I can't believe you don't get that. No.
No. Let's work on it until we all understand it.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people, irrespective of stature, power, status, and class, we all need someone to love us, appreciate us, hug us, advise us, cry with us, pray with us, play with us, and also be silly with us.
That's true.
And that's life.
I'm on a 10. I like that. Love. How has love treated you?
Love has treated me very well. Point number one, I relationship very well.
Okay. How do you describe you relationshiping well?
I pay attention, and I'm simply myself. When I love, I don't love in the fear or what if something goes wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
If something goes right.
That's a very positive way of looking at it.
All the time. And even when it fails, I don't go, oh my God, it failed. I'm like, okay, I took a few things out of that. And then we move on. And I'm not going to sit 20 years without, no. No. And also, and I know that people who got hurt so much in their relationship that they'd rather not. And sometimes I think, you know, it's okay. I'm not judging the decision. But I also don't want to miss on the good side of life because there is something holding me back. It's one thing when you choose to live that way, you know, like nuns go to conventing.
Yes, that's a choice.
If you decide you're going to be a eunuch or you're going to be a brother or whatever, that is a choice. You made that choice consciously. You don't make that choice based on the circumstances that got you to that position.
That's true.
Understand?
Yeah.
Because if you make that choice based on the circumstances, the day you get over the circumstances, you then realize, oh, I actually haven't lived. I wasted my time more than anything. So I'm always open to different opportunities, love included, experience new things. Some will be for 2 weeks, some will be for 2 years. Some will be for 5 years, some will be for 4 years, whatever the case might be.
Yes. You're married to Tiago Kasiak.
Yeah.
How would you overall, and I say where because it ended.
Yes.
How would you describe that experience holistically? As someone who would say, you're still positive about love, it still excites you, it still gives you a good feeling.
Yeah.
Sometimes we make wrong turns. Sometimes wrong turns become good turns because we learn so much from them. How would you describe it after all of that?
I think it was one of the bestest lessons I actually had for myself in my life, because I mean, it's not like I really sat down and asked him, so how was your experience? No, I haven't. But for me, it was a proper learning curve. 12 years of being in a relationship with a person, irrespective of how good or how bad it was, there'll always be something to take out.
Of course.
And I think when you walk away and there is no feeling of, I don't even want to talk to you again, I don't want to see you, then you know there's still a lot of lessons to be learned, because it is not just about you. It is also about the other person. Sometimes I can say, oh yeah, I didn't like the way he did this or did that. And he can also turn around and say, but I also didn't like the way she did this or did that. Understand? So I can sit here and cut it up in a way that I say, these are the 150 things that he did wrong or I did wrong.
And you can.
I can, it's doable.
Yeah.
Or I can say, but then these 10, we nailed them.
Yeah.
We nailed them. There's still some, like for instance, Coolio passed on, and the first thing I remembered was my ex-husband, because that Gangsta's Paradise, that's the only song he knew how to rap
from beginning to end.
And it was actually the first and probably the only one. When I was like, oh God. When I walked through, I'd be like, oh, there we go again.
When I walked through the video, the shadow.
And when that happened, he was the first person I thought of. Man, that was superstar.
Yes.
Then I started laughing. Gangsta's Paradise. You know,
I love all the time.
Hey, he nailed it, and he knew it. Yes. He knew it word for word, and he knew her when he comes with that. He was in his element. And you know what a beautiful, beautiful singer and a stage performer
and a great an memory.
You know, yes. And Tepo himself, he's an amazing singer.
Yeah.
He sings. I mean, he also did musical theater like your Motown. You know, he did a lot of theater productions, whether state theater, market. Like he's such an all-round performer, and he's got a passion for directing. And I know he's been directing here and there, and I know that that's where he's always wanted to go. And I hope that it actually works out for him, because I know how crazy he is.
Do you still relate well?
We still relate well. Like, hey, when I only school fees vibes.
So it's still that good.
Yes. In fact, we had a conversation yesterday.
Yeah.
We still talk, Yeah. And I mean, it's not like we are buddies and we'll go out for drinks on a regular, but I don't have to panic when I have to have a conversation.
Yeah, you don't have to plan.
Yeah, no, I don't have to plan. Go like, by the way. Yeah. And yes, we, you'll fight about this, fight about that. The other one proves that. But all in all, I honestly want him to win. I want him to have the best life. I want him to experience life in a way that he has never experienced. Well, he had the bravery of getting married again, and he's blessed in that way. And I hope it be an amazing experience for him.
You call
even
it bravery?
Better. No, because it's difficult for people to get married quickly.
Okay.
To get married again and all of that. And that is why I say, well, not just the bravery and the grace as well, because you definitely need the grace to sleep next to someone who probably snores or talk in their sleeps or sleep
all the time.
Whatever, farts, all those things. And having the grace to do that again, I think it's a great opportunity. And you don't want to not wish someone well when they take that kind of a journey.
Yeah.
You want them to win. I want him to win. I want him to be like, you know what? Yes, I got married before, got divorced, took my L's and took my wins, and at the end of the day, that was a build up to where I am. And now where I am, I'm safe, I'm happy, I'm content, and I am living the life that I've always dreamed of.
Yeah.
I want him to be successful, so that I can keep applying. So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But honestly, with him not just being my ex-husband, but he's a very talented guy. And I wish more and even bigger and greater opportunities show up for him.
You read about you a lot, obviously, because you're an active person, personality.
Yeah.
You find another marriage. You realize that when you read about, when you look for you.
Another marriage. Oh, the one, the one with my beautiful
the private secret wedding that nobody knew anything about, that you announced on Monday
after the long weekend.
Yes, after you got married. You find that quite a lot, and journalists write in detail about it.
I cannot believe people took that story.
And they took all of it.
And can I tell you the funny thing? But also, I think it's that thing, you know, when you're used to someone just being authentic and they hardly lie. So I think that's what sold it.
They believed
I didn't know it was going to blow up like that. I remember saying to Patu, I think it's getting out of control. What must I do? He was like, hey, I couldn't say anything. That was your suggestion. Good luck.
What was your suggestion?
We started shooting Giyani, and the first episode is when Manuku gets married.
Yeah.
And then obviously behind the scenes we take
a lot of pictures
and everything. And the picture was sitting there.
And it's good,
and
nice pictures.
We were now close to TXing. And they had already announced Giyani is coming, this and this and that. And then I was going through the picture. I'm like, look at this beautiful picture. Then, every time over that long weekend in September, they say, if your person says oya gae, because they are going to get married without you. So then after the long weekend on social media, every year in, year out, on brand, you're always on that. And then on Monday, then I say to Pat, you know what, I'm going to post this picture and just say, I also went to a wedding.
And you can't say I went to a wedding because you're wearing a wedding dress.
Yes.
So it looks like you are the one getting married.
Yes. What a messy situation. I didn't expect that.
What a messy situation.
I honestly did not expect
it. It's still there.
Listen, it's one of my, it's in the top 5 of my posts.
Yes.
Likes, comments, everything across all board.
Wow. As far as people are concerned, you're married.
Imagine. So when I really, really get married, guess what? I'm not telling anybody.
They will not believe it.
They'll be like, no, but you've been married.
Yeah, guess them.
What are you talking about?
You're taking another one.
Like, what are you talking about? They'll be like, oh, no. They'll actually say, you have been married since that time. You just didn't want to tell us. Yeah, but wow. Yeah, no,
it's still there.
Was crazy.
No, it's still there. And it's still authentic.
And Oratile Mohoje, who is a crazy director, writer, and everything. He's amazing, that one. On the long weekend, he reposted the picture and said, happy anniversary.
So to reactivate it, to give it more credence,
and
it still exists.
Retweeted, I said, I forgot it was my anniversary. Happy anniversary to everyone who got married over this weekend. I know there's a lot of you.
And left it at that. You had your first quite young.
Yes.
That always causes a bit of tension in families.
Yeah.
What was your experience?
Yeah, it was like, so...
Did they say no?
What do you guys suggest?
Did they say no?
No, they did.
What kind of attitude?
It was actually no. My dad was not impressed at all.
Yeah,
he was so upset. We took you to a private school, and then next thing you go. Plus, especially because I was living with my aunt at the time. Now you go to Joburg, and the only thing you brought is a baby. But you know how those conversations.
With it's a heavy conversation.
It is, yeah. And you know what? Sometimes, in hindsight, at that time it was so hard, and then you think back, you realize, parenting also doesn't come with a manual. I'm a parent myself, and half of the things that I'm doing while being a parent, you learn on the go. So you also parent how you were parented, or how you think you should be parented. And I was talking to my daughters. Okay, we talk all the time. But one of the conversations that we have was like my second one, and Tatung was saying, if we were to actually look back, a lot of parents owe their children an apology. and it's true. I understand. Yeah. And I'm also saying, in the same breath, you need to understand that just because you have a parent, it doesn't mean the parent knows how to parent.
No.
They are parenting because you are there. And the same things that you're experiencing as a child, they're also experiencing as a parent.
Because parenting is generational.
Yeah.
You take what you learned.
Your child is sick and they're crying. You sit there, you cry with them because I think, what else do I give them? You're close to giving them whiskey just so they can that they can sleep.
Yeah.
And it's hard. Like with Kaya, I mean, I'm a whole grandmother. Sure. She had us for the past 3 days. We didn't sleep.
Is it teething time, right?
Yes. And she's getting these ones.
Oh, yeah.
And her gums are just red and swollen, and you can see the little dots. I don't know why they're coming out as a choir.
They should do it one at a time.
Yeah, it must be soloist. No, this is choir. This is like it's like a boys to men vibe happening in her mouth.
So that's causing havoc in the household.
Listen, she'll sleep. She'll be okay. It'll be quiet. Then she'll sleep. Jiggy, jiggy, wah! She starts wailing, and then she gets off the bed. She starts walking around the house like, like, I don't know what's happening to me. Yeah. Before I came here, we were eating ice together because now the ice is making
yes.
It's pumping. Yeah, so
actually, when you walked in, you were having ice.
Exactly. We're eating ice together. So it's that thing. So now I can easily say, I was actually thinking about it just the other day. For some strange reason, now I understand what being a grandparent is.
Yeah.
Being a grandparent is getting a second chance to parent right. Yes. And that is why your grandkids benefit more than your actual kids, because you tried and tested and now you're perfecting.
Do you know, it's captured so well in conversations with God that young people should not parent.
Yeah.
It is not their job.
Yeah.
But it assumes an ideal family structure.
Yeah.
Where there's generations that still exist.
Yes.
It says young people should not parent because it's not their job.
Yeah.
And what does it define as young is the question you would ask. Geez, it says until 40, you don't know what you're doing.
No, you don't. As long as it's your first time, as long as it's the first.
Yes, you don't know what you're doing. It's the grandparents.
With your second, you might just try.
Have a better idea.
You kind of have a better idea, but that is not the idea.
Yeah.
But with Kaya now,
you are cruising.
I'm cruising. But now there's some of the things that you forget, like teething. You go like, oh flip, I forget. By the way,
how did we deal with this?
Yeah.
You should YouTube it.
I think
go to YouTube and see.
You see. But now, you're talking as a generation of YouTubers. Mm-hmm. Now, this Amapiano generation, you know what we do now, or what they do now.
I like that.
I'm
you
saying we
because yourself.
Yeah,
You're
no,
also
because
there.
now I'm across. I'm across board.
And you've done so well in that space. All of it.
And now nobody kind of YouTubes a lot of things anymore.
Yeah.
All you need to do is go to TikTok, and within 30 seconds,
you get it.
Not only do they explain it to you, but they actually show you live proof.
Wow.
So why should I be
I don't
need to Wikipedia
on a 12-minute YouTube video?
I don't need to be Wikipediaing anything. I don't need to be YouTubing stuff for that. No, just go to TikTok and say how to make
teething. Yeah, child teething.
Yeah, and then there'll be a doctor say, you know what, this is how you deal with it. And they nail it.
In 30 seconds.
Wow. So TikTok is not just for kids. It's for everybody. There are doctors, there are people who are talking law, there are people who are talking housing, there are people who are talking financial, there are people who are talking health, wellness, mental strength, mental illness. They're talking about depression. They're talking about a lot of things. Everything is on TikTok.
And it's quick.
And also, and on top of that, you get people who've actually experienced the thing to actually tell you.
Yeah.
So now, why now must I hate on quick solutions that are
No, yeah, absolutely.
No, sweetie. It's Amaya. Now I can't be asking people to open Windows 97.
Windows 97.
Everything is on your phone.
Yes. I want to go back to Daddy's reaction. How do you guys overcome that moment?
We don't.
You don't?
No, you just don't. It's hard. It's hard because you know why parents get upset when their kids or when their girls get pregnant. And I say girls specifically because back in the day, parents didn't necessarily talk about sex to young people. Okay. You just hoped and pray or make it go away. And parents then only open their eyes when the girl falls pregnant.
Ooh.
But nobody cares. They know that you're probably having sex, but they're not going to discuss it in detail with you. And they just hope to God that you do not fall pregnant, which is one of the things that also happened again.
course.
In church, it's only when you fall pregnant,
Iba taboo.
yeah, excommunicate.
Yes.
Like you can't stand up, go crack anymore, go sit at home.
Yeah.
But at that point, the pastor's son is busy with 12 girls in church.
In church.
But until one of them falls pregnant, it's okay.
Mm.
He can keep playing the keyboard, being the worship leader, talking about offering, being an usher, and all of that. It is only so the generation before us was a more reactive generation than a proactive generation.
We'll talk about it after.
And not only because they don't want to discuss, it is not about you being uncomfortable. It is actually their own discomfort.
Yes.
It makes them uncomfortable to talk to me
about sex,
as their child, about sex.
Yeah.
So, which is why now it was difficult to get over it because now we are dealing with the situation.
It's here.
We're dealing with the situation.
Yes.
It's here.
And it's a conversation that we've never had before.
No.
And now it comes in such a bad package, so to speak.
And also, and my parents were kind of repeat offenders because my elder sister fell pregnant first. So
they should have learned.
They should have learned from. Yeah. And while they were still getting over the shock of my first one, I had a second one. Then it was over, game down. Cut. You know? Yeah, even myself was like, yeah, no, cut shame. I feel their frustration.
Justice.
But what helps us go through it, even because communication is important.
Yeah.
Verbal communication is important. But what is importanter? That word. What is importanter is action communication.
Yeah. For example?
What won my heart is how they loved my children, how they accommodated them, how they were so fussy over them. And even my sister's daughter. I mean, even now, you know,
in their adult age, they still treated
now
like
they
that.
even have their own kids and everything. But they understand. And that kind of love, when you see it, it communicated a lot of things. Where they say, like, you messed up, we see it, but we're not going to tell you that we forgive you and we understand, but you will see it through how they do that. Where now it's in there like, okay, fine. So next year, what are you planning on studying next year when you go back to school?
That's what they say. Instead of saying...
Yeah, and then they make it like a serious board meeting. Yeah, okay, so what do you want to do, Pella? You know, you can't just sit here. What you still have your whole life.
We'll look after the kids.
Yeah, so Zamaya, and then the kids will stay, and only when you're stable or something. And you know, they talk about it like this as if like, yeah, and don't ask me too many questions. This is a favor that we are doing. But then you actually realize when you're sitting there, oh, flip,
I like that.
This is love in action. It is more love. They're not everything that you want to hear with your ears. You only see it with your eyes and with their actions, and how it actually stirs and pulls at your heartstrings. And then you realize, oh, you know what? It's not like they also had a manual on how to parent. They were also doing the best they could. There are some of the things that, because I've got Gifilo Ntateng and Botselo. Botselo is 15.
Yeah.
And there's a gap between Ntateng and Botselo.
A huge gap.
Where now, how we raised kids, how I raised Gifilo Ntateng is completely changed to how I'm now raising Botselo.
Naturally, Botselo comes with a bit of wisdom, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Botselo comes with a bit of wisdom. Gifilo Ntateng about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you get to Botselo, you realize, no, you don't.
You discuss.
You negotiate and you go like, Mama, please don't do that. That is not good. I don't. And then, 7 steps. You become the extra parent. Then you start moving from being just the mother. You become a friend. From just being the friend, you become an advisor. Then from being an advisor, you become a suggester.
Or Botselo is 15.
Botselo is 15.
She's raising a teen.
Yeah.
A teen girl.
Yeah.
It's like, teen girl or boy, it's all the same. Yeah. It's tricky.
It's tricky. But then remember what I was telling her now. Back in the day, even in churches, the responsibility laid on the girls.
Yes.
You know why? Because the girls are the ones who carry the evidence.
Of course.
And they wouldn't be as hard on the boys as they would be on the girls.
That's so true.
And that balance
continues even now.
Huh. We understand?
Wow.
It continues even now. Then you realize, not only are you black, but you're also a woman. and the disadvantages are great.
Yeah.
But when you're able to overcome those kind of obstacles and make something of yourself, then you realize, I might not be Jeff Bezos, but I'm flipping successful.
I look at it and say the ability to pull it off is still something worth commending.
Yes.
To look at and say, hey, man, 3 girls. It's 3 girls, right?
3 girls.
Yes. You've pulled it off. Well, there's still a project in place right now because Mutsilo is still in production.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you must see, and she dreams like crazy. Some of the things that she wants to do. She's just like, I think after matric, I'll just go and be a bartender in Italy and dance. And I'm just like,
what?
Then I'm going like, in fact, you know what?
Why not?
Why not?
Because that's the beauty of hindsight. Now you look at life after and say, and then could have done that.
That is the same. Was like, wait, is Botsilo getting that? I remember 10 years ago, and I'm like,
I didn't get that.
This is not 10 years ago. Because
was it known Alma piano?
That is why she likes saying, you see, parents should apologize to their kids. I'm like, I agree completely. I agree. Okay, yes. I am not fighting.
No,
I am sorry.
Jeez.
Okay.
What does she want you specifically to apologize about? What is she crucifying you about?
Like for
the comparison.
Instance, I remember there was a time Tata wanted to go to NSA, and I was like, no.
What was your issue?
Go to a normal school.
Yeah.
And then they went to PEPS. They went to school Kopolokwane.
PEPS, very popular school.
It is. And before they went to PEPS, they were now it's called Pinnacle.
Okay, yeah.
Then it was what?
So they're decent education.
Yeah. No. I'm all like, my girls kid Maserati Jaga. I really like.
They put in the cash to take them to school.
I will scrape my fingers off if I have to, but I made sure.
Yeah.
And then now Botsilo starts go Pinnacle, and then she decides she wants to go to an art school. I was like, sure. That was like, hey, wait a minute. Nah. I remember, and you broke my heart, Mama. You broke my heart when you didn't want me to go to.
Now she's upset.
I understand.
Yes.
And then she went off. I lost Tarisha Roads. She did media studies. She did well.
Yeah.
She's a very clever kid, but she completely hated it.
Mm.
And all of a sudden, she discovered her love for cooking. And I think she never used to cook because she was more of the quieter child.
Okay.
And Kifulo is more out there. And then Kifulo knows how to like fry an egg nyana, we all cook well.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it was going to be in Tateng's passion. And now she's studying culinary.
Wow.
And she works Sojo, the Houghton Hotel.
In hindsight, you could have done this differently. Now, in terms of avoid the media study and go straight to culinary.
Yeah, especially the kind of money that I lost. Do you know how expensive Rhodes is?
See what I mean? But now you look back and say...
I wasted so much money. But you know what? And I think, in a way, that will help with culinary studies.
It always does, yeah.
Now she can basically write a book.
That's it. No education is ever wasted.
No education is ever wasted.
Yeah.
But that days are like, we could have. But then I also go back. I was like, you know what? Without trying to quote the Bible, when you go back and look at Joseph's journey, how the brothers sell him off, then the other one, then he ends up go Egypt. Potiphar gets kicked out because the wife seduced him, then ends up interpreting Pharaoh's dream, then ends up being the emperor of the whole nation. That works. With the same brothers that are being hit by famine, they come to beg for food only to find Joseph standing in the gap.
Yes.
So every journey and every detour there's a reason to it. So I hardly question life like that.
Life's
I don't
detours.
look back and go like, why did it happen to me? No, I don't.
I like Steve Jobs' story of connecting the dots. He says he wouldn't have. Yeah. It's only the thing about life is you always see it in hindsight.
Exactly.
And say, oh, well, it now makes sense.
Yeah.
It didn't at the time.
But also, you can choose not to make sense of the nonsense.
Yes, of course.
So that you have less hindsight reflections.
Yeah.
But you let it play. And then when it plays out, you go like, now it makes sense.
Yes.
It makes sense. It makes sense. And then like I live my life in a state of complete surrender.
I give myself to you.
You give yourself into the universe. Whatever good that's supposed to come to you, it will come to you.
Yeah.
The only thing that you need to do as a person, you need to be responsible and meet life halfway.
Yeah.
Understand? They can't say, we have this big role that we want to audition you for, and they send you a script and you don't learn it.
No. And then you don't do well.
Yeah.
And then you blame
and then you blame them.
You blame the lighting guy.
Exactly.
You find someone to blame.
Yeah, I can't get my lines correct.
Yeah.
So when you do your bit, it's easy for the universe to allow stuff to fall in your lap.
Yeah.
Easy.
Wow, that's a quote.
Yeah.
That's a quote. This part will be played as the opening of the show.
Wow.
When you do your bit.
Yeah.
In conclusion, bringing 2 kids to a marriage, what does it do to a marriage?
I don't know.
What was your experience?
My experience was fine. I mean, it's either we're gonna do it or not. But you do know that
this is what
I come with 2 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband had a son as well, but
blended family.
Yeah, definitely. And I wish it wasn't such a big deal to a lot of people, because I feel like people are stopping themselves from being happy. They are robbing of themselves of opportunities of exploring life differently and of living their best life and optimizing that kind of opportunity, because they're like thinking, oh yeah, na akenya ke mosadi wa nang le bana, o akenya ke monna a nang le bana. It's life is life. And the person that you're looking for, the guy that's supposed to make you happy, the woman that's supposed to make you happy, they're not going to come pre-packaged in a way that you want, you know. I mean, there's nothing as ugly as an oyster when it's under the sea. It's only when it's open, then you're eating it on the plate, you realize, oh, in fact,
it's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that they don't come packaged ready for you to take. I mean, check where diamonds are taken from. Check how gold is collected, how everything is mined. You go deep down. And they don't come and present themselves as a beautiful ring from Browns or Stearns or Galaxy and Co., you know? And it's also knowing that the person that you are, people say, what do you bring to the table? The person that you bring to the table, irrespective of how perfect you think you are, someone is looking at you, go like, not that one.
Yeah, not for me.
Not for me. You cannot be for everybody.
Yeah.
But when you meet that somebody that is definitely for you, there won't be a lot of questions that need to be asked. You don't ask a lot of, and can you have more than one soulmate? Absolutely.
Yeah.
A soulmate, I'm going to get a soulmate from 1991 to 1993. I'm going to get another from 93. But each and every one of them has served a particular purpose in my life that has led me to the journey or to where I am right now. And would I change anything about my life? No, I wouldn't, because then it would now alter the kind of experiences that I had. Do you understand?
Because one change will affect other moments. It's like a ripple effect of it. Yeah.
And sometimes people forget her. It's not just, we tend to forget her. It's not just about currency, but it's also about energy.
That's
true. It's like money. I can give you 200 Rand now out of my pocket.
Yeah.
For me, might not be anything, because where I took out the 200, there's still another 4,000 in my wallet, just my wallet.
Yes.
I give you 200 Rand. So for me, I'll say, here, go buy McDonald's. And when the 200 is going to be a serious life changer for you, because now that money has now gone from being a currency from my hand to being an energy into yours.
Yeah.
Understand? So now that energy is what you now walk into a store, you get bupi, or reka di PCC, or reka cabbage, or reka eiye, and then that is a meal that's gonna sustain maybe go high for a whole week.
Alternative story. You buy those things, sell them, and make more.
Exactly.
Changes your life completely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And why I made this one, then you've got a meal for a week, go high.
Yeah.
It's because now, when you have fed your family with that 200 Rand, now that has put you on a different level, because now they know her, irrespective of what happens. daddy is going to come up with a plan.
Yes.
Okay? Or mama is going to come up with a plan. Yeah. And then when they see the plans that you are making, it starts shaping the kind of decisions that they will make for their lives. Mm-hmm. So currency is not just currency, it's energy. And what you bring to the relationship now, a lot of people look at it at currency. I'm looking for a CEO, a business owner, a PE. That is currency. But what is that currency? What kind of energy is the currency bringing to the table? That's what people should be asking. What energy are you bringing to the table?
Not looking at the oyster while it's under the water.
Exactly.
It's potential that matters just as much.
Yeah, but also a potential that also needs to be explored. A potential that is not explored is dead.
It's wasted.
It's wasted. Yeah, no, keep busy ka tender. Okay, that's also a line from WHP. Yeah. So you can't just be busy ka tender. You need to crack the oyster open so we can see what's in it.
I like the phrase that energy, potential that's not used is like electricity in a plug. Until you plug something in, it's just there. You know it's there.
But it's not working.
It's not doing anything.
It's not doing anything.
Yeah.
So when people say, what do you bring to the table? I say, I bring energy. I bring energy to the table. Forget the currency. The currency is there for everyone to see. But are you going to experience my energy? And not everyone will be actually susceptible to that. They're not going to be able to experience that.
Do you look at yourself and say, I like how you understand these words so easily because onale a strong Pretorian influence in you, whether you admit it or not. Do you look at yourself and say,
yes, sometimes I do. Yeah.
Which parts of your life are des, in your opinion? There's a gang, for example.
I think I'm a kick-ass actress.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I agree. Keep going.
Yeah, and I think I'm a good parent. I'm a good mother.
Yes.
And I think I'm generally a good person. And I became a generally good person, not because, like I said, I take after my parents, but that is also still a choice. You can choose to be good or you can choose to be bad.
They say a son that's raised in a violent household where the dad beats up the mother has choices.
Yeah.
They could be the protector of women.
Yes.
Or they could be the perpetrator.
Exactly.
The choice always remains.
Even with exactly that.
Yeah.
So some of the decisions, obviously, that I make for my life, it's based on some of the experiences that I had when I was growing up. And then I know, okay, I don't like this. How do I change it? And for instance, there is, you can be a jealous person. And I know there was time, I think I was a jealous child.
Okay.
Especially with my two sisters. Now, my elder sister, because she was light in complexion, had long hair.
Yes.
Now, I was the darkest of the kids, and
oh no.
You know, and it was, so the jealousy goes out of
became
them,
a part of
that.
It
becomes like, why not me? And then goes along. I would sing and they would want me to start songs and everything. But you know what they would do in the choir? They'll put me in the second queue because I was I wasn't necessarily appealing.
Oh, so you're not the bright one.
You just, but then I'll be the one leading from the second line. Wow. And I remember there was this teacher who was forcing me to sing a lower voice because the higher voice were reserved for pretty girls.
Oh no!
It's and then I would so much jealousy would stem out of that.
Yeah.
And it grows with you. It grows with you. And I remember, I think I was in boarding school at the time, where I had to consciously learn to not be jealous of other kids.
Wow.
Because you also have nice things about you. Like it's
so you had to make it a mantra.
Make it a mantra.
Yeah, that you would.
And I remember there was a time where I was watching Oprah, because it's so easy for us to criticize. It's in our nature. And Oprah was like, it's so easy for people. It's like when you see someone, you start looking for the negative things first. And then I remember she said something like, when she sees someone for the first time, she's going to try find 5 good things about them.
Wow.
Your ears could be facing that way, but you probably have beautiful eyes. Let me look at your beautiful eyes. You've got great teeth. Oh, you're wearing a beautiful dress. Before you even get to the personality. By the time you get to the third positive thing, you actually realize, in fact,
you don't even see the ears anymore.
You don't see the ears anymore.
Yes.
They actually complement the face.
That's it.
So I had to deliberately
work
on those things. You know, sometimes you will look at someone who got a part that you so desperately wanted
and thought you deserved,
and you deserved, and but I was good. She's not even doing it that well. You know, sometimes you realize, oh no man, it's actually more jealousy speaking. You know what? There's a reason why they picked her, whatever reasons they may be. But you intentionally build the kind of person that you want to be, and you also build the person that you want other people to be for you. You know, a lot of things are natural. But most of the things that work in life are acquired.
Yes.
It is hard work. It's a conscious decision to say, I'm going to protect my peace. And you know what? I'm going to be a channel of peace, a channel of love, a channel of solace. I want people to be able to know that they can run to me, they can speak to me. And for me, that has ended up being my biggest calling.
Yes.
You know,
to be the
it's easy for people to pick up the phone and go like, listen, you know. And I might not have the solutions at the time.
Or the resources.
But I might just be the voice they would want to hear to reassure, to reaffirm, to motivate, whatever the case might be.
You said even young kids want to hang out and get.
I love it when they say, adopt me. I'm like, oh my God, there's like 15 of you now.
Who are these? Are these actors, actresses, young people in the industry?
Yes.
They want to hang out and listen to you.
Do, and they come, and I mean, someone like Sandile Mahlangu, for instance, he's on How to Ruin Christmas.
Yes.
He's quite he started a while back, but you know, only now coming into himself and everything. I remember when I met him for the first time, How to Ruin Christmas, he was like, I want you to be my mother. I want you to adopt me. And I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, no, I've seen when you're like with dinner with Loiso, and then they start counting. We like this. I would love that energy. And then the other time, about 2 weeks ago, I met someone who's like, I so wish you could adopt me. I see how your relationship with Sandy. I'm like, okay, Sandy lays in, is definitely in.
Yes.
But it's also it's not just about holding young people towards you or pulling them towards you. It's being able to say, go out, explore. Should you get burned, come back and tell me. Let's see if we can work on it. And when you do great, when you're amazing, guess what? We're gonna throw a party and celebrate you.
Wow.
But all of that. But our young people need the kind of people that would selflessly give of themselves, of their experiences, and not just scold them or tell them about your back in the day. We don't care about your back in the day. Your back in the day comes because it must come with great wisdom that is going to build someone else for where they're going.
When McG called and asked me to be a part, it said, hey, I need to work and do studio. Can I have studios and so forth? I said, yeah, cool. Fast forward 2-3 months later, he's trending for those commentaries.
Yes.
What is that? Whatever that was. When he got cancelled.
Yeah.
And I was asked, somebody, random person asked, so are you still cool hang out with this boy, having him use your studios? I said, yeah. He lends. And then we move on.
Yeah.
Because now, how do we punish people forever? And you guys can punish him. I'm not going to punish him.
Yeah.
You know, it's his life journey, and I happen to be a part of it.
Yeah.
And I will not say now that he's going through this, I don't want to get involved anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so it's those moments where when you say we need to recognize when it's time to give young people an opportunity, and they will go out and step on toes.
Yeah.
And you come back, and as a parent, as your dad did.
Yeah. By the way, I had to write a letter and ask for forgiveness and apologize.
Well, there you go.
Guess what? That's when I know, well, this guy can actually hold a grudge. I wrote a letter, saying, I'm so sorry, what, a soapy story, I'll never disappoint you again. And when I got pregnant again, he took out the letter and said, please read here. What were you saying?
Human beings hold grudges, let me tell you. That's one thing we do.
But
so I gave you the letter, maybe you should read it back.
Yeah, but I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been blessed with such a great life.
Yeah.
A beautiful family. I've got crazy brothers and sisters. We we fight about a lot of things, but we love more than we fight.
Yeah.
We have our own WhatsApp group, their spouses, their
in there.
partners. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but we've got siblings.
Of course.
Then we've got
Yeah.
family.
Yeah.
That includes
Re
everyone else. Re nyaka go bolela ka monna ole or ka mosadi wa ole, ke a tla.
Just so you know, there's probably another one. Yeah, the in-laws. There's WhatsApp groups.
Yes,
there's always breakaway WhatsApp groups.
They do. But I love that there's such a sense, it is healthy. Because for us, we've got the family with everyone.
Yes.
Then the siblings with just the 6 of us.
Yeah.
Then we've got the sisters now where we can actually discuss the brothers. I don't know if the brothers have their own group, but we do.
I don't think so. Guys don't do that kind of stuff.
But, you know, it is so healthy. And we check up on each other. And, you know, technology now, you don't have to be...
No.
Now, everything is just done quickly here. We video call each other. And
do you have, in any family, in any scenario, in any group of friends, there's always the two that, or one that you gravitate towards the most. You can't help it. That's just life. In your brother and sister setup,
you know what? With us, we are all different. Out of the girls, I'm the loudest one. So I'm number 2. We actually call each other by numbers. So number 2 is the loudest of the girls.
Yeah.
And then number 4 is the loudest of the boys.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you relate with number 4?
Yeah. But funny enough, Boyo goes across board. He relates with all of us.
Wow.
We all relate.
He's got that skill.
And even when we call each other different names, different nicknames according to how we relate with each other. How my younger sister calls my other brothers.
It's not how you call.
My youngest brother can Mija Gama, but my sister calls him Jerry.
Ooh.
You know? But
that's how you relate.
It's that thing. It's that thing. And then obviously my older sister, oh gosh, she thinks my younger sister is the Beyonce of the show, but she is such a Beyonce. She is, oh gosh.
Takes a Beyonce to recognize a Beyonce.
Diva. What a diva.
But do you have that? Do you have that is my person?
I think Boyo, because he's more crazy. He's more crazy. But then when you want to actually speak and discuss things, then you know, when I'm in a predicament, I call my younger sister. I don't know, maybe because she's a lawyer.
Okay.
But besides that, she is that kind of person, you know.
So this career works
my younger
for her.
Sister, my younger sister is to me what I am to the other ones.
Oh.
You know what I mean? You know how
because you also needed one like that.
You need to have one like that. Yeah. So when people call me for answers, now when I need, I'm like, hey, Mugele, Maika, you know. And my elder sister is the unifier. She's the one who's going to tell you, cousin Mamman died. Oh, Mama. She knows everything.
She's the one that will go to the funeral.
Yeah, she's the one that goes to the funeral. She's the one that we send money to go send Seroto, Angwadishe. She's the one who stands for the family. And then she'll be reminding us of everything. And she'll be giving us announcements. And she is hands-on. She knows all the relatives.
She's a general secretary.
Proper.
Yeah.
Proper. She knows anything and everything about family from both sides of the family.
That's incredible.
And
then she'll give you this long explanation.
Remember, Mama, and she does that. All of us will be like, Matsidi kana komofe. We'll be asking her, kana komofe, you know? And then all of that. And then my other brother, he's we call him men leading blacks. He is so black
conscious. Yes.
That days when he speaks, we're just like, yeah.
There he goes.
Like, we hear you, we hear the passion and we understand. But like, can we just drink and party and my youngest brother is the least problematic of them all. He is the sweetest. He is
the easiest.
Amazing. Yeah. And because he is so sweet, we feel like we always need to be on our marks in case someone tries to.
Oh, you're thinking pause.
No,
something
in case someone wants to fight him, we are ready to defend. But it doesn't mean he cannot fight for himself.
Of course, yeah.
But because he is so
good-spirited. He's a calm spirit, eh?
And now we are there, in front, you know. Even if he tried like, hey, no, Gamma, sit down. We've got this kind of a vibe.
But no, it's nothing.
He's like, no, it's nothing. I was like, no, we'll fight for you. And then there was a time where we had to now sit back and realize, no, man, you know what? We don't really have to. This guy is...
It's fine.
He's 38 now.
Dude.
And we're fighting for him like he's 2. And that's just the sibling thing.
Is there a gap between him and others?
No, we're actually very close to each other. Yeah.
Yes.
And the most interesting thing about siblings, Kocha, is that the firstborn and the lastborn share a birthday.
Whoa, that's so cool.
So it's a proper full circle.
Yes.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Wow, that's unexpected.
So, like literally, they share a birthday.
That's amazing.
Yeah, a good 11 years apart.
We are so blessed as a country. I'm so blessed to hang out with you for so long.
I know.
3 hours, 30 minutes.
I know. And I know.
You canceled so many things.
I was like, yo, guy.
I missed so many calls. You missed so many
missed calls. I'm missing another appointment, but
sorry.
we are here.
I remember, and I say this a lot, when I started this, I said, we're going to document stories.
Yeah.
Because the beauty about the platforms that we use, and YouTube in particular, it allows us this long-winded conversation that I notice people don't watch all at once.
Yeah.
They watch and say,
we'll come back.
Yes. And that's what I like about it. Television doesn't allow us that.
No.
There's no platform that allows us that really. And that's the beauty of what we do, to come and celebrate South Africans. I've had Jerry Mufokeng here. I've had
Connie.
Oh no, I've had them all.
Rami Chuene guys, like
you see what I mean?
Wow.
See, these are
the funny thing is that every name that you've said, I can tell you a story about it, but then we'll need to sit for 2
another
days.
2 hours.
Another 2 hours, nyana. It's crazy. I mean, we're talking about Gregory Potter. I was like, I had actually had breakfast with Gregory Potter. That's a story for another day. And I'm looking at Mambusi Mklongo. There are stories I can tell you about Mambusi's, like my first experience seeing her on stage. Like
I didn't have the privilege. I've never had the privilege.
Fainted.
Wow. Was it that spiritual?
No, man. Come on. That voice. And she sings like she doesn't want.
Yeah.
But something overcomes her.
Yeah. Very few artists are able to embody that exact same experience. Tandiswa does that.
That's exactly what I
said. Does that.
Yes.
Yeah, they're able to bring that exact same experience to a performance. So now you've been like, you've seen. Like, I've never seen it.
Listen,
I play her music on radio.
Oh, by the way, I used to work Kokipis, by the way.
Really?
And that meant I could actually watch a lot of shows for free.
Of course.
Wow.
What a life experience.
You'll find people will be standing outside trying to squeeze in. You'll be sitting on some guy's lap that you don't know, and the girlfriend would not mind.
Because we're having a good time
because she's probably leaning on on another. Like, we'll be sitting like this, standing like this, and people try and order book a table. But the people that are standing, they'll be asking you to move your drinks halfway so they can share the table with you.
And you booked the entire table.
And
what a different time, eh?
Yo, I don't know. For a second, I just got a bzzz.
Ooh, it's a spiritual thing. You cannot lose, yeah. Others would say,
No, I don't have those ones. But in fact, one of the saddest, I don't know why all of a sudden I'm getting. Yeah. For me, one of the saddest experiences, one of the saddest eras for me personally is losing a place like Kippies.
Yeah.
The memories that I have of Kippies, I could write a book.
And it's no longer there.
And I felt like it was something that should have been kept as open as possible for as long as they could.
It's the type of contribution that you speak of.
We rushed to, I feel like they rushed to turn into a monument. We should be watching Gregory Potter go Kippies. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And I think I get emotional because I was not only the one who was the only one heartbroken. People cried. We cried for Kippies.
Imagine that.
And yes, maybe there was no one to keep it open. I mean, I remember, Hot Sticks fought to
try. Eh?
He did his best, but let me tell you something. Of all the things that happened in the country, I don't care whether the renaming of the streets, the whatever. Changing of this building, that building, breaking that one down, building that, the reconstruction of Sandton, the renovations of city, the rebuilding and the restructuring of Maboneng, whatever. But they shouldn't have touched Kippies.
it had
left it the way it was.
They didn't understand its history.
Damn.
Or its role in society, as you say.
We could write a book from Brahu to Tsepotsola.
They've all been on that stage.
Tembam Kize. It's Sylvester Mazinyane.
It's many. The list is long. It's very, very long.
Okay, before I go, let me tell you a funny thing about Kippies.
Yeah.
So I'm now studying Kofuba. Remember there was Sipos Pamela.
Yes,
Do you know Sipos Pamela? I was studying Kofuba. And I was also going to start working Kippies, but it was before I went.
You're done with tech?
I've left. I dropped out because I initially wanted to study music. And my parents were like, no, you can always do music, whatever. And then obviously I did my first year of tech. I was studying fashion design at the time. And then I dropped out. Then when I went back, I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. But then I got an opportunity to do that. Then studied Kofuba before. You needed to have a bit of a musical theory background before you actually went to tech because they held auditions.
You don't just walk in.
No, you don't. Yeah. You actually audition. Yeah. Anyway, then Fuba, then I decided to walk to Kippies. The same thing of discovering.
Yes, on your own.
Yeah. And as I'm walking, I hear, man, there's a band playing. I'm like, for some strange reason, that voice sounds so familiar. And I wanted to walk to the market first. Then there was Gramadulas. Oh, God.
You were having a moment.
Anyway, I go like, okay, let me not go to the market. Let me
get in here.
Follow
the music.
I follow the music. And it's dark. Remember, Kippies was dark in the day.
This is,
You don't switch on the lights, you see fog.
No. It's like a nightclub. During the day, it looks weird.
So I stand there and then this woman is singing. But her back is there because, they're busy talking through notes.
Okay.
With the
band.
With the pianist and the guitarist. Then I get closer. It's actually Judith.
What?
She had been, they were called UCT.
But you knew her before.
No, we are cousins.
Yes, but that's why what is this?
Of all the things I expected. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, that person sings so much like Lalo. We call her Lalo. Sings so much like Lalo. But I'm in Joburg. Lalo is at UCT. I'm not expecting. You don't understand when I walked in and we saw each other. The music stopped. We screamed. Oh my gosh. And the funny thing is that then I also went and I stayed for the performance. I went.
Oh, yes.
Electric. Guys, the chemistry, Slylo, Lee Judith.
That's magic. Oh,
and
magic.
The band. And, and I mean, they're all, at that point, they're still students.
Way before Memotswadi.
They haven't
done any.
They haven't released anything. None of them. There's no a cry.
A cry, a smile, a dance.
No, nothing. And there they were. And it was such a beautiful thing. That's like when I think of different memories, Kippies, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Because there's so many.
And it's not just about me. You know how people want to hold on to their memories or whatever. For me, I think what broke my heart is that there was no vision or foresight of what that little place meant to a lot of us and what it could do for a whole lot of other people going forward.
Sure.
I mean, there was a point where there was a future for Kippies. They extended it. It was like this, then they went that way.
Yes.
And they made it bigger. And when it got big, I was like, yes.
Good.
Finally, someone gets it. Only for them to close it down, for it to be closed down.
Remember I said, a problem with us, we always start again.
From the beginning.
Yeah, we always start again.
Scratch,
And you said, yes, because we don't have a blueprint. We don't have the bigger plan.
Yeah. And I remember that I used to dream one day I'm going to buy Kippies.
It's not a bad dream. You can create a new one.
When it's a monument like this, you can't buy it.
You can create a new Kippies. It's like swallows. Swallows. It's not the original swallows. It's the new swallows.
I mean, baseline is not.
Baseline is not. Yes.
Baseline.
Do you know, Thank you. Thank you. I'm lucky. I'm extremely lucky. My life has been bestowed with these moments of luck that I can't explain. And I hung out with Ndade Kaifa Sime. I don't know why. He gave me 2 hours. We hung out and had a chat. I don't have videos. It's a sad thing. I have a photo though. But I always say, hey, I'm lucky like that. And that's why I like listening to stories. I like listening to people's stories. I like listening to old stories. And that's what makes this entire thing possible. We're recording on a day that I don't normally record on Saturday.
Yeah.
And thanks to you for agreeing to do it.
Because there was no day in the week
To do it, yes.
Yes.
And that's why I say thank you again. I took your Saturday away. I think we're blind. I think we're Dese. I think we're Iwusa. And I didn't know that Iwusi before the younger. There were other people who were light and we are going number 2. Kirichila Dareng. Oh, that's a blind, you know.
My father would agree with you.
Only Gigi. Like I've had 3 hours, I'll level up my crew. Get out so Wajole. Wajole blind.
Come on, girl.
Oh, there's a. If Baushela, Dumela. If I someone chance, I enjoy life,
Right, ne?
Because
I agree.
Because Wajole, you know.
I still think I'm gonna get married again. I just don't know when.
Interesting. In the stuff that I read, I truly believe you will get married. When I was preparing for this, in my reading, I was like, oh, no, this story about marriage is a lie. But when I read it, I felt the energy of you getting married again.
Yeah.
And I believed that energy. Yeah. So I don't think it's far-fetched.
Okay, I
think it'll be a nice, easy old man. That will.
I think so too.
Yeah, easy. Who's not hung up by a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
Who just wants to adore you and celebrate you.
Yeah, I want that. You know what's a baby?
Yeah, yes. Oh, I have a job in New York. We'll go together.
Yeah.
And then he sits in the hotel.
Yeah.
He wants to just be around. And go home.
Like, baby, can you come with me? Let's walk the red carpet in now.
That's fine.
Like, fine, sure.
Yeah, but
what do you want me to wear? Exactly.
I
would love that so much.
You see?
I would love that so much. I think that would be so amazing.
I see it happen.
Yeah, and you know what? You want someone who's gonna put you first, but also someone who you will also want to put first and go like.
That's the story. It feels so good when loving somebody. When somebody loves you back. Let's do this again, ma'am. Waroka.
Thank you,
ladies
so
and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Rami Chuene is such a star. I'm lucky. Rami, everybody, enjoy what she does in the future. See her in a big blockbuster movie, starring alongside. Don't be shocked. Starring alongside big actors or big directors.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, and I think you have the potential, the talent. Someone has to see you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they have. Anyway, it's about to decide. Anyway, let's decide. We'll get there. Thank you so much, man.
Sharp.
You've given us
a lot.
Interesting. The longest I've done in 3 years.
Wow.
I've done Bendigo for 4 hours.
Good luck for cutting.
No.
Editing.
We almost cut nothing.
What?
No way.
Who's going to sit and listen to us talk for 3.5 hours?
We have young men who are happy to do this. I like them. They're not here when we record. And every time they edit, they say, wow, man, I enjoy their stories so much. So somebody is going to watch this and actually enjoy the story before it's seen by the public. We're not cutting much. It's a 3 hour, 47 minutes. We'll probably cut 2 minutes.
Never.
When I went out and that kind of stuff. when you took a phone call, those are the moments we'll cut. But this bit will make it. Thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Rami. What is your full name?
Rami. I'm named after my grandfather.
That's so unusual.
I know. They actually thought I was going to be a boy.
So the name you got before you were born?
Yes.
We lived in a time when you didn't know the sex of a child before they were born.
Yes.
And
the funny thing is that now my younger brother is named after my grandmother.
Oh, hell. Kimangana?
Mokhumutsi. Yeah.
And the both names work.
Yeah, they do.
I'm named after 2 different people.
It's only when you turn it in Kashoa then it becomes a problem because that makes my younger brother Leah and it makes me Isaac. But it's okay.
Well, her real name is Isaac. Now we know. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. That's a wrap. Thank you.
King David Studio Podcast.